This was so much better than Black Widow. Hello everyone, this is Nerdy Reflections review of The Suicide Squad from Action to Feminism. So Nerdy Reflections gave the movie a 3 out of 4, classifying it as a baby chick, not a full rooster yet though. So let's start with the action. So there was a lot of action and excellent CGI effects. The action was more graphic and gruesome as compared to the MCU movies, and they do make a point in the Suicide Squad to make it that way. But the action sequences felt genuine to the characters and were there to advance the plot. Especially Harley Quinn's action scenes, they actually helped build and fix some of the issues that we had with her character from the first Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey, and the action actually helped make her a more likable character. So with regard to the characters, Harley Quinn's character is fixed in this film, as I mentioned earlier. You get to see she's still a deranged character, particularly with one scene where she kills her new love interest, the president. But throughout the film, you like her because of her friendship with Flag and her funny sidelines about the javelin given to her by Booster Gold. It really helped bring her character alive. So in regard to feminism, Harley Quinn in this film is portrayed as strong and loyal. She appears to be a good friend, and in this film you see Harley Quinn's arc come to fruition because she's no longer codependent on the Joker. In fact, the Joker doesn't play any part in this movie. She's actually behaving in a manner of her choosing. Although you still see the scars of the Joker's past relationship with her, but it doesn't negate her strength as a strong woman, and you really see that finish her arc here in this movie. So continuing with the other female characters in this movie, possibly the best female character here was actually Ratcatcher 2. She really becomes the heart and the kindness of this film, and you really love that throughout it. Her character is likable from the beginning, but when you see her towards the end, you have already grown to love her. You become attached to her character. And so even though she isn't a skilled fighter like Harley Quinn, she's equally as strong in her own right, and she's very courageous, and she plays a critical role in saving the day, and you really love that. The last female character we'll talk about is Amanda Waller. She continues to be such a badass leader with like the perfect casting. Viola Davis' portrayal of her is exquisite, and throughout the film, even though you understand her interactions with both teams and you see that she's betrayed by both teams by the end, you understand that her actions are really taken or driven in order to save the day, not to be cruel or heartless, although her decisions can definitely be taken and result in a great loss of life, but you still respect her because she is such a strong leader. And so next, with the male portrayal in this movie, all the male characters were portrayed in such a great way. The casting was amazing. It was top notch. You really grow to love the less well-known characters, the less well-known anti-heroes like Polka Dot Man. And you have such a strong connection to him by the end that you feel so sad when he dies, but yet you still feel great because he plays a pivotal role in saving the day as well. And so with the lesser known characters, with the lesser known actors, you really grow to love each and every single one of their characters regardless of their gender. And then, of course, Bloodshot, portrayed by Idris Elba, is just phenomenal. And he does a great job in bringing the group together. And his relationship with Ratcatcher 2 really gives a third-dimensional feel to these characters, to their relationship, to their squad, and to their friendship. Another wonderful male character portrayal is Flag. So at the end, of course, spoilers, but Flag's death is very upsetting because you go through this movie with this great friendship and his friend with Harley Quinn and his growing attachment to this new team, and his character really goes through an emotional development by growing a conscience and realizing that a lot of his cover-ups are wrong, and he wants to do right, and he wants to fix that, and he wants to make things right. And so when he dies, it's so sad. It's very tragic, and you feel emotionally invested in his arc. Lastly, the villain, what we want to talk about. The main villain is an alien in the shape of a giant starfish. And so the idea of a starfish being a villain, it can be very comical, and definitely at times in the film it is. However, James Gunn does a great job of giving you substance that you would want from a villain with just really 3 to 4 lines. And it really was surprising. And this is so drastically different from the crap villain that we got in Black Widow. And so here, James Gunn, he does a great job of making you feel sorry for Starro the Conqueror because in reality, he's forced to be the villain. And his last line, it was just so poignant because he says, "I was just happy floating in space." And in just that one line, he makes you feel so sorry for him. And you think, wow, like if this were a real story, that would suck. And people are cruel. And so you really love what he did with the villain in this film because you really feel bad for Starro the Conqueror. And so, in the final notes, overall, it is comedic in many ways, which you think, or we thought, at times it would have served the story better if it had been a little bit more serious, like the Snyder Cut of the Justice League, but it was a much better film than the first Suicide Squad movie and The Birds of Prey. And if they make another film, we hope that they bring Flag back, first of all, and then elevate the movie by the seriousness of the film to bring a new edge to it, not just for comedic value. So overall, if you're a fan of the DCU, this is going to be a good film to watch. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to enjoy the characters, are by far the best part, and you're really going to love this movie. And so, thank you so much for watching, and consider subscribing to our channel and liking this video for more like it. Also, comment down below what your thoughts were of the Suicide Squad, the female portrayal, the male portrayal, or just thoughts in general. We love to read them. Bye!